Yo guys, I've got a spark which I'm going to use to ignite the fire for a brand new episode of Soul Seekers, where Sonic Boom has unfortunately been replaced for the very first time with Sunburn, a soul which we seeked out in the debut episode of this series. And so naturally, that's where the rules of Soul Seekers come into place. All of the Skylanders are locked, as you can see from them being darkened out on the display at the top right. But once I have seeked out the soul gems, I can unlock those locked characters. So far we have found the soul gems for both Sonic Boom and Sunburn alike, so now they very much have been unlocked and you can see them brightened up on the display to the top right, though unfortunately if a Skylander is defeated in battle they are classed as dead and cannot be used again, and I also must beat the game to 100% before I can tackle the final boss. So yes, it's going to make things pretty intense, and I've got to be careful here, because despite being of the fire element and being a literal fire phoenix dragon, Sunburn, for some reason, despite all that, still takes damage to said fire up there. So yeah, it makes no sense that he takes damage to fire, but he does take damage to fire all the same, so you need to be cautious of that there factor. Oh, I'm also getting a hit in the face right there. I should probably, you know, stop taking said hits to the face. That would be rather convenient of me. All this bouncing, it's glorious. Anyway, watch out for all of the flamethrowers that are literally everywhere, might I add. You know, there was barely a square pixel I could go to without a flamethrower. Oh, speaking of flamethrowers, there was another one. And there's a platform that I need to go to, so we're just going to wait for the bounce pad to travel back around and carefully proceed to bounce straight on it. And now we have approached the final boss area. It's a rather anticlimactic boss fight area, because Fafik, he looks awesome, he looks legendary. We don't actually fight him. Instead, all we do is fight his minions. It's like the biggest upset mentality of the franchise. I want to fight that guy. I just can't because the game said no. Anyway, there's our second treasure chest and our second hat. I think when we went and took the path to unlock Sunburn Soul Gem, we skipped over the area to where the third and final treasure chest could be found. So, when we return to this level to speedrun it, we're going to have to get that final treasure chest then instead. But for now, I think I've gotten all of the other collectibles of this level, so for 100%ness of the challenge is rather successful. Anyway, we've got to finish off some of these dudes. Unfortunately, the magic element's popped up and I haven't found the soul gem for a magic Skylander yet, so I can't swap out for a Skylander corresponding to that element, but once I find, you know, soul gems for magic Skylanders, that shall begin with the crawling catacombs, then I can swap out for one of those and have the have a Skylander corresponding to the element of the area. But yeah, that's one of the first magic Skylander pops up. We need to wait for these minions to spawn in. Minions, hello! But yeah, I'm trying to think, when are the first of other elements? If not for the Dark Light Crypt, we'd have to wait all the way until till Cadaver's Crypt even for our first Undead Soul Gem, I believe. Because Cinders, yeah, Cinders is in Molten Mine, then Ghost Roasters is of course in Dark Light Crypt. And then Chop Chops is locked behind a magic gate in the first level, so technically that's a lie. We will just have to wait till Crawling Catacombs to unlock Spyro's Soul Gem and then go back to the first level and unlock Chop Chops, thanks to finally having access to that magic gate in the first level. But still, case in point is stuff like that that locks certain elements out for a decent volume of time. Didn't even know time had volume, but here we are, I suppose. And that's just the way I phrase it. Anyway, Fafik even has like the legendary animations and all of that, and we still can't, you know, fight against said legendary animations, even though I'm glad we can't, because that animation was just so intimidating that, you know, it's making me quiver with fear. Anyway, there's the treasure chest right there. A boing, a boing. Okay, can we hit that bounce pad? We can, but now I've got to wait for these platforms to finish spinning right round, baby, right round, baby, right round. Once again, baby, right round, baby, right round. Okay, cool. Never mind, our momentum wasn't quite enough on that one. And now I have to wait for them to finish circling back round again. Yeah, so the platforming in this game is cool. The fact that you don't have a jump button, you know, and it adds a lot to level design, but sometimes it can be annoying, like this right here, where the hitboxes are just kind of like doing whatever it is that they want to do, it feels like. Either way, we've now knocked a king's crown, so I think it's about time we replaced Sunburn's chef's hat right here, because a crown atop his head, it makes him look rather glorious, mind you. And this is for Dragon's Peak. Sunburn is a dragon, you know, this place belongs to them. It's for Dragon's Peak, you know, with an apostrophe to give for Dragon's possession of it. That's how grammar works, anyway. I don't think grammar's all that important. What is important right now is healing up with this chicken right here. There you are. Now Sunburn's definitely in a position of power to take down Fafek's minions. That is, you know, if we want to get to the point where they spawn in, mind you. Which I suppose is asking a lot. It's like, Fafek, hello, are you there? Are you going to like, send your minions? Or are you good, man? I'm just going to keep throwing out this flamethrower until some enemies feel like jumping into it. Yeah, this is really annoying. The jankiness of the hitboxes here, you know, clearly need to be in a specific part of the arena for the next, like, enemies to spawn in, but they just don't want to spawn in, and it's annoying me now. It's like, enemies, do your job. Please? Or am I asking too much? How about I go all the way back down, and then walk all the way back up again? Oh, there it is. I finally walked into the part of the stage where it activates the final round of minions that I have to defeat, mind you.
Beat all of them.
All of the minions. Yeah, well, there's still not going to be a match for Might of Sunburn right here. At least I hope so. I kind of need Sunburn in order to gain access to that fire gate and for Oil Spyland we're going to be tackling next. Ouch. Yeah, getting hit by those guys less would be rather convenient. Man, Sunburn is weak. Just saying, not my favourite character. I'd rather be playing with Sonic Boom right now. Which, in a minute, is going to be, like, not much of a choice. If Sunburn winds up dead and playing a Sonic Boom, it's not going to be much of a choice, and that's exactly what just happened. I cannot believe that in Spyro's Adventure of all things, I just lost to Skylander. If that doesn't prove Sunburn's worthlessness, I don't know what does. The second episode in this series. Man, I'm mad. The only reason we came to the Dragon's Peak in the first place was to unlock this character, and he's dead inside of his own level. Wow! Thank heavens we still have Sonic Boom and availability to us, otherwise we'd be screwed right now. Because all of our unlocked Skylanders would be defeated. Now just watch. Watch as Sunburn just comes... Not Sunburn. Sunburn got me tongue. Just watch as Sonic Boom comes in and just starts absolutely humiliating these guys. She is going to annihilate them. She is so annihilative. Just look at this raw awesomeness that Sonic Boom is possessing right now. It is sweet! There we go, and Fafek has been dealt with. So we're going to do with the Oil Spell Island even, just like what we did with for Stormy Stronghold, and absolutely speedrun through it, not worry about any of the collectibles. And then in Darkwater Cove, we're going to start collecting Soul Gems, so that then we will have Ignited Soul Gem availability to us. We can go back to Oil Spell Island and actually access that fire gate. But man, boy, I'm so upset that Sunburn is dead, but I'm sorry for those of you who like him. I don't. Then again, that's my opinion, so therefore if you disagree with it, it's wrong because that's how opinions work. And yes, if that doesn't prove how bad Sunburn is, I don't know what does. Because honestly, maybe if the character's a little bit better, or maybe even if I liked him a little bit more, he probably would have died there. But unfortunately, a combination of him being absolutely useless and me not liking him is what led to his death. But Fafek, you had it coming. Consider that revenge for Sunburn. Man, never did I ever think I'd lose a Skylander on Spyro's Adventure. Especially not in the second episode of the series. I was expecting to get through the entirety of the series, have all 32 Skylanders unlocked at the end of it to defeat Chaos with, but unfortunately, Sunburn just ain't good enough to make that final cut. But hey, for all of you Sonic Boom fans, that means you get more screen time with this glorious character in front of you, so you can't go wrong with that. And the name of the red dragon that I forgot this entire time was Flavius. Well, I'm glad that's all, you know. made cleared and everything, made clear in my mind, to be grammatically correct, I suppose. Anyway, will all these guys shut up so I can, like, finish with this level already, or is that asking too much? Of course it's asking too much. Why would I even ask in the first place if I already knew it was clearly asking too much?
Will fly you back to the ruins. Farewell, friend.
Yes, farewell, my friend, indeed. I'll come back once I feel like getting that final treasure chest. Apparently, we didn't get the enemy goal, but we somehow accidentally managed to clear in under 16 minutes and 56 seconds, so completing the speedrun by total accident is miraculous, but, you know, on the other hand, we still have to come back here regardless to get no lives lost, the enemy goal, and that final treasure chest.
Say, if you're going to eat me, you should know that I'm really salty and kinda high in cholesterol.
If you are eat me, I'm salty and fat too.
Oh, great. Someone get me out of here!
Someone get underwear.
Sheesh. I actually had to sit here and listen to that monster make up recipes. And I was the main ingredient. This is just the worst. Little help, please? Take a look inside the lock and see if you can trip the tumblers.
During the cut that I unfortunately just had to make because I had a family dinner to attend to, I learned that you could do this. And it echoes off the Locke puzzle on the cage for some reason. But yes, once again, apologies for that cut right there. But when family dinner pops up, I ain't got no choice other than, you know, cutting stuff out as I go and eat it. Unless you just want to listen to me eating food for 20 minutes straight on for, you know, commentary as the game just kind of like stays static and does bugger all, and I'm sure that's one thing that, you know, that's not really what you're looking for when you're looking for content such as this one. Well, content, however you want to put it. Either way, we got a close-up on Sonic Boom's baby right there, and it is adorable. You bet I'm going to make a cut-in on the edit right now. It's like the most perfect opportunity for a cut-in. And now you can see all three of them. Those things are adorable and surprisingly well detailed. Like, seriously, the texturing, the graphics, overall, for Spyro's adventure standards, it's pretty good. And they're cute little tails too. Oh, I love Sonic Boom and her family dynamic. It's unique, fun, and cool. What's not so cool is the lack of me being able to skip over this cutscene right now. You know, it's rather unfortunate if you were to ask me. You know, if only I could cut out all this stuff like I did when I had food to go tend to. But, you know, nah, that's more work in the edit I can't be asked to do. Either way, let us head off for Oil Spill Island as we speedrun through this level now that we're no longer worried about 100% concern. Now that Sunburn's dead, I forgot to take ownership of him while he was alive, so between the two cuts I did just quickly place on the portal and take ownership of him. But he's technically still dead. After all, that's what happens when a Skylander is defeated in battle. I can't emphasize this enough. Either way, we now have Oil Spill Island loading on up. Okay, here we go. We have more things that I can't skip. Unfortunate that. I mean, if you're thinking it's unfortunate, I too am also thinking it's unfortunate, which means that once again, great minds think alike. Luckily for me, because Sonic Boom is a flying Skylander, she can fly over the water-based sections in this level. Therefore, part of the speedrun is going to be flying over the water, so we're going to be able to, en route, pick up a soul gem anyway. You know, it's just going to be in the way. Why would I not pick it up? It's going to be abundantly clear and obvious when we get to Wham-Shell's soul gem that this is the very soul gem I'm talking about, which shall not be missed. After all, I got to start seeking souls, otherwise, you know, this just turns into a Sonic Boom solo run, which again I would have no problems with whatsoever. By the way, there are apparently Gilman that are caged that need saving. Beware the tool of trade. Okay, beware of it we shall. So let's take down that fool within a single hit, mind you. And yes, rather than push those crystals into place, we are instead gonna... Sonic Boom, do you want to actually, like, move that way? Apparently not, so we're just going to move down here instead, you know, apparently dropping down into the water there was too much to ask for, so instead we fly back round, you know, and during this shortcut we're taking over the water, we are going to indeed acquire Wham-Shell's soul gem, preview him, so now that we've seeked his soul, he has been unlocked for our usage in areas where water is strongest. And on top of that, we also get the awesome preview too upon Darkwater Cove, which is the level we shall be tackling next. Anyway, speaking of the water element being the strongest, that is exactly our scenario right now. So we are going to be swapping out for the very character we just unlocked and taking ownership of him without further ado. Okay, there we go. Let us be swimming, boys. I find it very funny that you can literally boost upon his mace as he just kind of like levitates over it to swim with, and that gives you a bit of a boost. You know, we have Wham-Shell the Witch, because he uses his mace just like a broomstick, you know, a traditional witch's thingamabob, which I think is just good for enough as is. We're going to stick with it all the same. And now we're going to have more fools to deal with, but luckily for me, they are fools, so by default, they don't stand a chance. Okay, here he is for Blaster Troll. Now I'm just hoping that even with a slow character like Wham-Shell, we can still beat the speedrun objectives just fine. Okay, let's charge for our Starfish, take him down and activate a tech elemental area that we can't swap out for a Skylander corresponding to that element, because none of the Skylanders of that element have been unlocked just yet, as we haven't seeked out their souls. At least not as of this moment we haven't. Okay, let's push that into place. And we can also, whilst we're over here, free up that poor Cage Gilman right. So that's 1 of 5 with the, you know, oddly expressive Gilman faces. Another worthy thing to cut into, I suppose. That and also the fact that they just vanished out of midair. That was also rather interesting. And lacked in logic, just like traditional Skylanders formulae, shall we put it. Oh wait, there might be grenades all around me, but I'm Wham-Shell here, I got to hide grenades. What are they gonna do, man? They don't threaten me. I ain't scared of them. Especially when there's plenty of cheese and chicken to go around. Like, seriously, how could I be afraid of enemies dealing damage to me when I have anti-damage, which is food that heals me up all around? Okay, boom, let's take on these fools with our nice little Poseidon Strike right now. I love the name of that attack too. The fact that it's called a Poseidon Strike, we're not actually going to waste time to surround that laser, we don't need it, because our Poseidon Strike is broken enough as is. But either way, going back to why I love that name is because it's the name of a Greek god, I want to say, Poseidon, god of the sea. Really, really cool mythological type stuff, and I respect that. You know, anything mythological based I respect, so that's gods, especially dragons, you know, trolls. Not sentient crabs, unfortunately, they don't really classify themselves as mythological creatures, but mermaids do. They're creatures of myth. Unicorns also, you know, like your girl Whirlwind, who's a hybrid between a unicorn and a dragon. A Uniragon, or a Dragicorn, however you want to put it. Either way, it's not that good. The joke I just made. You know it was bad when I laugh at it. When I start laughing at my own jokes, that's the, you know, level of commentariness that I've dipped to. Commentariness, a word that exists now because I said so. And on that note, we now have more cutscenes that we can't skip. That's rather unfortunate, if I were to say so myself. I can continue clicking the B button, you hear me doing it too. But it ain't gonna do much for the game in hand, unfortunately. Please, help us destroy it. Nah, I'd rather just leave this oil machine around so it can continue to pollute your waters and, you know, harm your way of life. Why the heck would I choose to do the heroic thing and blow up the refinery? Gurglefin, you're asking too much. You stupid reskin of Gilgrunt. Yeah, I said it. Deal with it. In my words of a mighty tough walk. Anyway, words of tough walk aside, we're just going to grab this bomb and get out of here already after having blowed up the refinery, mind you. Now, get in there. Did that actually count as blowing up for a refinery? That was a rather odd angle of which the refinery to be blown up by, but we will take it. It's one of those... Yeah, we'll take that moment. Or moments, I should say, because it's plural. There are multiple of those moments and multiple things that are also here are complete objectives. Not only the objectives for the level, but also no lives lost. And the speedrun objective. Glorious, all that. Yeah, what I find funny is that on the Wii, some of these speedruns are actually pretty difficult. But 10 for the Xbox 360 and PS3 versions, just like they did with the Final Chaos boss fight, they nerfed it, so they made the speedrun objectives a ton more easier. They added several, we're not talking seconds here, minutes to the speedruns. It's like, geez, do you really have that little faith in Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3 gamers? They are not the pro gamers. Everyone knows that the truth behind legitimate pro gaming is Wii Sports Bowling. You cannot call yourself a pro gamer until you have gotten 100% on a round of Wii Sports Bowling. That is where the elitists are at. You know, you could be the best at Call of Duty, but if you haven't got 100% on Wii Sports Bowling, nobody cares. You know, that is the true peak of gaming. Mostly because every single person on the planet has played Wii Sports Bowling. Like, everyone and their grandma has played that game. More people have played that game than people have seen Endgame. Which is really saying a lot because Avengers Endgame made a lot of money. So yes, the truth to pro gaming is Wii Sports Bowling. And that's why, my friend, for Wii gamers, they are truly the elite. You thought the Wii was a system for casual gamers? Pfft, no! Skylanders proves that. The Skylanders Spyro's Adventure on the Wii is the hardest version of the game. If you want difficulty in Spyro's Adventure, Xbox 360 and PS3 is easy. Wii is slightly more difficult. I'm not going to say hard, because it still isn't all that hard. It's just that, the very minimum, not as easy. It's just that you see before you. The only reason I'm playing on Xbox 360 is because I can screen record gameplay for my 360, not my Nintendo Wii, however.
I'll go now.
As much as I hate to say it, you should go with Gurglefin.
So yes, let it be known that the Wii system, that's truly where all the pro gamers are at. You know, the PS3 and Xbox 360, they ain't ever seen any pro gamers on their systems. People who use their systems just aren't pro gamers. Simply put, this is just the true man of the situation. There is no denying it. But putting all that craziness beside me, let's shove out the Dark Water Cove, where we can get soul gems of Dino-Rang and Igniter. I suppose this is another level I should just try to speedrun though, considering that for water, well, Water Gate I can access, but Magic Gate I cannot, not until I get myself a Magic Skylander. But luckily for me, well, I seek out the soul of Magic Skylander anyways, but going back to what makes me so lucky is the very fact that the soul gems in this level are kind of in the wave, they're en route, they're harder to miss than anything, so naturally I can easily acquire those soul gems without sacrificing the speedrun of the level. I know, that's rather convenient. Anyways, what would also be really convenient right now is if I could skip these cutscenes, but that's asking too much. Oh, is that right, Gurglefin? Is that right? Is it? Just perfect. Anyway, here he comes, Mr. Dino-Rang himself. It sure is convenient that I know where every single soul gem in this game is and whose soul gem it is that I'm acquiring. So in this case, it's Dino-Rang. We are, of course, going to be previewing him. And we're even going to get to play him in this level, even because plenty of Earth elemental areas pop up here. Anyway, Dino-Rang looking awesome, mostly because, well, he is awesome. Okay, there we go. We've acquired that, so it's time for me to go fast and fast, quick and quick. Because again, you know, this game won't speedrun itself now, will it? And neither will this game just skip itself either, because that's asking for too much. Why I'm even asking for it in the first place is a mystery to me. Yep, looks like that ship is going bye-bye, and it's rather inconvenient. I would have, you know, liked to have not had that ship sunk, but unfortunately that's asking too much, as per the norm. I'm very talented at that, for asking for too much, it would seem. Anyway, one of those Earth elemental areas I was speaking of, this is going to be one of them. So it's time for Dino-Rang to be placed onto the portal, and for me to take ownership of the Mad Lad. You know, this is Boom Boom reincarnated, because as Nintendo put it in one of their Mario Maker 2 trailers, Boom Boom, he's now referred to as the Mad Lad. Okay, we got these fools to take down. Nice and easy like. It's not like these guys are hard to deal with though, mind you. Now, as you can see, I'm just kind of like blazing through them with absolute ease. But blasting him, on the other hand, now this guy has a second shot. Something we should be beware of, mind you. As if I can even speak all that well, which apparently is asking too much. Anyway, we might have left that watermelon behind, but luckily for me, that's what I got my sticky boomerangs for the very soul gem that we just acquired after we seeked Dino-Rang's soul. Okay, let's be destroying all these crates, mostly because they looked at me funny and they had it coming. Anyway, water's about to pop up again. Just like that. So it's time for Wham-Shell to return. Another one of the Forgotten 8, ironically enough. I keep switching between different cast members of said Forgotten 8. Okay, let's take down that fool then. Continue up here. Grab these jewels in the way, because as per the norm, we don't mind if we do. However, I love the fact that this preview makes the level look a whole lot longer than it actually is. So now we have the key, we can very simply use said key to open the gate. And that's an appropriate one-liner to go with too, because it's my favourite one-liner of my favourite Skylander, which we are about to unlock! And it is raw hypeness, in case you can tell from the tone of my voice alone. See ya, fellas. Man, that Poseidon Strike is so broken. Is why Wham-Shell and Drobot are notoriously the most overpowered characters for PvP in this game. Because you can bring out Drobot and just annihilate your enemies from afar with his lasers. He is a literal machine. Blink and destroy and all that. A more accurate catchphrase has never been created for a Skylander in history. Because with Drobot, you truly will blink and destroy. And then with Wham-Shell, you know, you better brace for a mace. It's rather powerful, and it will annihilate you in PvP. As soon as Wham-Shell gets up close and personal with you, he is going to zap away that health like madness. With just for sheer power this guy has in melee, you can go as far to say, even though this character isn't a character in Super Smash Bros. Melee, aka the best one, even though he would make for a great character in that game, no doubt about it. Apparently I'm going to hit absolutely nothing with that. Oh, but I still destroyed all of the enemies anyway, because again, this guy's sheer power, when he gets up close and personal enemies, is massive. His melee damage is just simply massive. But every single time I reference melee, it just reminds me of the Super Smash Bros. Game, on the GameCube specifically, that came out only 2 years after the original, and given how big a game melee is, especially for its time as well, really impressive feat to say the least. What's also really impressive is that I now get to return back to your boy Dino-Rang over here. How awesome. Okay, let's take down them fools right there. Head up here. You know, more fools to take down, I suppose. Just as simple as that. Bye-bye, fella. Let's grab this gold, mostly because I feel like it. Drop down at long last, and then, you know, ignite a soul gem is not far from our grasps. And I like that. I like it a lot, because this character is basically the incarnation of raw, untamed power. Oh, and now my Xbox 360 controller is disconnected. Looks like I'm going to need the might of more cutting. Okay, we are back. Let's be previewing Ignite without further ado. The most legendary Skylander of them all, quite literally too, because it does have a legendary form in Giants. Like, sure, if I was to place a legendary form in this game, nothing would change aesthetically, and I would still play the exact same. But would I have a problem with that? Of course not. This is Igniter we're talking about. No matter how I play as that character, even, it's absolute perfection. Anyway, time to take down some more fools. They look to me funny, which they really should stop doing for their own good. Anyway, it's Wham-Shell's turn now, so let's bring him in. Like I say, cut some back and forth between Wham-Shell and Dino-Rang right here. Just true switching of the Forgotten 8, even though the water element did pop up only briefly, and now it seems to have vanished again. And that's unfortunate, because I do prefer Dino-Rang over Wham-Shell, so I would prefer to be playing him right now. But never mind, the universe said no, and I'm just going to have to deal with it. Okay, here we go. Got some food here in the ancient temple that is of magic element that I can't swap out for because, again, I haven't seeked a single soul of the magic element just yet. And I can't do so until freaking crawling catacombs. Okay, there goes that fool right there. Down and out, as simple as that. Now, you would think next up I'd go back to Oil Spill Island, you know, pick up Boomer's Soul Gem, use Igniter to tackle the Filemental area. No, I'm not doing that. We're going to go to Dark Light Crypt next build because I'm so excited to play that level. It is like the best level in this game, for Pete's sake. Anyway, there it is, for Holy Grail. Or at least, you know, for Skylanders' version of it. I know, it was pretty great work, wasn't it, Gergolfin? Anyway, for Dark Light Crypt we will leave for the next episode, because we are going to be concluding this here episode once this level is said and done with, mind you. You know, we've had quite an impactful second episode, I must say so. With the loss of Sunburn, multiple more souls that have been seeked, you know, Wham-Shell, Dino-Rang, and Igniter. Very successful for a single episode, unlocking 3 entire souls to use. But yeah, outside of that, the most biggest tragic element of all of them was, of course, the defeating of Sunburn, as now he's dead, because when a Skylander is defeated in battle, that's what is classed as a death, all the same. But that means we are going to be playing a lot of Igniter, especially when fire elemental areas pop up, because the next fire soul gems for us to seek the souls off don't come until Malkin Mine with Flameslinger. And then the very next level, Lava Lake's Railway possesses Eruptor's Soul Gem. With that being said, let's continue up here and hope that we complete the speedrun objective. Otherwise, this will be rather tragic, because not only would we have a lack of collectibles, but we'd have to go through the level twice. One time round for the collectibles, and then for next time round once again for, of course, the speedrun. So I'd rather limit all of my expeditions to these levels to 2 plays each time. 1 play for the collectibles and 1 play for the speedrun. Sometimes we might even, you know, get the speedrun as well as all the collectibles, because the speedrun objectives were so heavily nerfed for the Xbox 360 port. Anyway, with that being said, we now have to just wait and finish for Gergolfin's monologue as we continue with the game. Not the series, however, because again, once this is all said and done with, I will be concluding the episode here. Now, with that all being said and done, this video is coming to an end, but before that happens, I first want to thank all my Blazing Knights and Scorching Dragons whose support allow me to continue pumping out quality videos like this one. Without them, this all wouldn't be possible. Therefore, I genuinely appreciate every last one of you from the bottom of my heart. If you enjoyed this video, I have others you can watch by clicking on screen now, and you can even subscribe by pressing the button on the bottom right hand corner of the screen. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll be seeing you in the next one, but until that moment arises, peace!